Dangerous Animals movie review. Dangerous Animals is a good movie, guys, and in this video I'll tell you exactly why. Dangerous Animals stars Courteny and Hassie Harrison, and it tells the tale of a young girl that goes out on a boat, and she's kidnapped basically by Courteny, and his whole motivation is to get these people out on his boat so that he can feed them to sharks. And if you like sharks, if you like seeing people get tortured and brutally eaten and mauled to death, then this movie's right up your alley. Now, that being said, I do like sharks. Now, I've got nothing against Courteny, and he does a good job in portraying this guy, this real menace. You love to hate this guy because he's just a real bad guy. A real, delusional moron, and as you saw from the trailers. So you're supposed to hate him, right? And what helps anchor this film is Hassie Harrison. Because if you don't buy into her character, she's like our protagonist. So you follow her, she meets this guy, and then she gets kidnapped by him, and the guy looks for her, and she's trying to get off the boat, she's trying to escape and stuff like that. You know basically how this is going to go. At the end of the day, Courtney's going to get his comeuppance somehow, and it's just, how is she going to get out of this situation? You buy into this, right? And it's a lot to do with the performances. Is Courtney a little over the top sometimes? Perhaps. And that may be a little much for some, but for me, you could tell that he was just having fun with it. He was just, hey, it is what it is. And I enjoyed it for that. How does this come in on the tomato meter right now? 85% by critics, 72% by the audience. So the critics like it, and the people that have gone to see it seem to have liked it. I would say that this was originally intended to be like a streaming movie, but hey, put it in the theaters and look what it's doing. I'd say it's getting good positive word of mouth, and I would recommend it because it's an hour and 30 minutes. Now, some people may complain about, there's a bit of a romance angle in there with the young couple, and it's like, well, you know what? This movie can get away with these kinds of things because it is only 90 minutes, right? Okay, so there's a little bit of romance in there, but if you're going to complain about it, guess what? It's going to be over in 2 minutes, and they're just setting that up so you can have some context of the relationships. That's it. Because it is only an hour and a half. So those are my main reasons why I liked it. Now, I guess if you are a shark person that really wants to have the sharks be protected and stuff like that, does this movie demonize the sharks? Let's just address those concerns. I would say no. I mean, they do what sharks do. Like if they see blood and they see something dangling in the water, they're going to come up for a little nibble. I mean, who wouldn't, right? But it's just a fun movie. That's the way I would say it. Let's go over my score sheet and fill out numbers. So, acting and directing and story are out of a possible 2 points each. Cinematography and score are out of 1 point each. Acting, I would say, is overall good from Courteny, and from Hassie Harrison, I think that's enough for me to bump that up to a 1.5. Directing, the technical aspects are handled well. Story is simple, straightforward. You know what's going to happen. It's pretty straightforward, guys. It's a simple concept. I like this concept a lot. We're sitting at 4.5 right now, but I will give the cinematography a full point here because there's a good use of a lot of drone shots out there. The score is pretty serviceable. The watchability factor is out at 2 points, but I want to save that for after we go and take a look at some of the snapshot reviews there. See what people are saying about Dangerous Animals here from the critics and the audience alike. Critics: there is a strong meta-cinematic element to all of this showmanship. Yeah, now I said this in my quick little review there about this movie, is that there's an analogy about a fisherman and a marlin, how the fisherman will reel in the marlin and then there's so much fight in that fish that it runs away again. And it's sort of an analogy as to what's happening to us as well, right? Like, she's getting away, but he's got to chase her. And you see that happen a couple times throughout the movie where it's like, okay, we get it. And that may rub some people the wrong way. But once you realize that that analogy is also for us, the audience, because You want her to get away, right? It's kind of like a roller coaster of emotions. And that will work for some. It won't for others. It did for me. So that's where I land on that. Now then, Dangerous Animals. Other critics are saying Mark Kermode, it's well made and it's tense, but it's really nasty. Yeah, it is. And a lot of it is because of what Jai Courtney's character is. He's a bad guy. He feeds people to sharks. And it's not for any monetary reasons or anything like that. He just feels like that's what he wants to do. There's not a whole lot of explanation to that. He's just a bad guy. Audience reviews. One of the better shark movies out there, but slow with some parts. Yeah, well, maybe that's because of that romance part I was talking about. If you're enjoying what Jai Courtney is doing, you'll love this. I was less than impressed, but the movie is fast and suspenseful. And again, that goes to the runtime, guys. I wish all movies had like this mandate of an hour and 30, an hour and 40 minutes, and then we're done. These 3-hour marathons are just like, oof. It's nice and refreshing to have one of these in there every now and then. Let's go over to the critics and see what some critics who didn't like it. Rogers TV. The writer and director flounder in the shallows of middling sharksploitation. So now that sounds like somebody who maybe, wants to defend sharks, doesn't want to see them demonized. While it's reasonably well made, Courtney is a chilling villain. Dangerous Animals plays to a very distressing aspect of horror lovers' psyche. And again, that's just going to the nature of what Jai Courtney is. He's just a bad guy. And its payoff is that you get to see that bad guy get his at the end. And that's what made it work for me. Okay, let's wrap up my score sheet. Watchability factor, 2 points. If you like the trailers, I would say 1 point at least for that. But I would totally watch this again. I would say 6.5. And I think I am going to bump up the directing because of the drone shots, because of that tight, crisp hour-and-a-half runtime. 7 out of 10 for Dangerous Animals. It's about right. Standouts, Hassie Harrison, Jai Courtney. And the sharks. There's a beautiful, like, when I say that they don't demonize sharks, there are sharks that will come up and look at them and be like, you see the majesty of that. And the director does a good job in showing us that, right? It was like, well, I don't want to take a nibble on this. And it's like, there's some cool stuff in here, guys. I gave it a thumbs up. 7 out of 10 for Dangerous Animals. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, and we will talk about it. You're watching Mirror Domains.